today on the live. The power of words. Okay, so here's the thing about words, right? Each individual word does have its own power. Okay, it has its own strength. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. It's not anything that you have to be afraid of or anything like that. You just have to be aware of it. Okay, be aware that every single word has its place. It has its value. Good morning, Jay. Good morning. It has its value. Good morning, lady. It has its place. Okay, so it also, in the English language, words cast spells through homonyms. Okay, homonyms, yeah. So words that sound the same but have different meaning, like morning and morning. Okay, mourning as in mourning a loss, or morning as when the sun comes up in the morning. Okay, so there are different things that we have different homonyms in the English language that actually wear on your subconscious. Okay, so there is only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Okay, now the power of words, right? It shapes your reality. Words shape your reality. So what I used to do for a few years in my professional life is I used to paint pictures with words on the radio in the form of comedy. I was a voice actor. So, one of the things that I learned early on, okay, is that you could draw a completely different picture if you use different adjectives. So it's really fun because, you can say I hit him, or you can say I pounded him, or you can say I struck him, or you see, and you get a different picture every time. Okay. So words have their own value. Okay, every word has its value. When I teach my public speaking to people, I teach them that every word has its value, to pronounce every word. Okay, to give every word its due. Okay, now the power of words in our context, in the spiritual context. Okay, we're talking about every word has its own vibration. Okay, for example, I gave this example the other day. The word like and the word love. Okay, when you say the word like, it feels different than when you say the word love. Okay, like, love. You see? So it has a different vibration to it, a different vibe to it. Okay, now, how are words dangerous to us? It's dangerous through the subconscious, or it can be dangerous if it's negative, through the subconscious. Okay, so the words that you speak, your subconscious remembers because it's always listening. Okay, this is why people say, watch your speech. There's a reason. It's your subconscious. They don't always say that. They don't always know that. They just know that, right, there is power in the tongue. There is life and death in the tongue. Because when you say certain things a certain way, it goes into your subconscious very quickly. Okay, and all you have to do is add intention with emotion and marry them together. It goes directly into your subconscious. Okay, now you can use that for good or bad. Okay, so if you put energy behind, say, the word yes, and you put a lot of energy, okay, and you shout the word yes in affirmation of something, okay, in agreement with something, it's very powerful in the subconscious. Now that's a positive, right? What if you shout no? Now you have the opposite, okay? So be careful. Be careful of the language that you're using. Now, when you use emotion with your words, that's when it really counts. Okay, when you are using energy, okay, because everything is energy, when you are using energy in the positive, or when you are using energy in the negative with your words. If it's a negative word, or let's say it's a cuss word, swear word, whatever, if it's like that, and you give energy to that, it goes directly in your subconscious. And then later on, you're wondering, like, why do I feel like I feel funny? And then later on, it's like, why is my self-esteem so bad? Like, why don't I feel good about myself? Why don't I feel positive about myself? Why don't I love myself? Right? Oh, okay. See, when I tell my clients that, I go, well, if you had a bad day, what have you been speaking? You know, had a stressful day, what kinds of things have you been thinking and speaking? So first you get the thought, then you get the emotion, right? But when you use the word and emotion, okay, it doesn't matter if it's a positive or negative word, it goes directly into your subconscious. And when that happens, you get a result. Okay, because the subconscious learns in repetition. You know those people who like always swear, like every other word is an F word or something like that, right? Okay, take a look at their self-esteem. Start to look at their personality. Start to take notes on what you see in them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. So like I'm not telling you you can't swear. I'm telling you be careful what you use, how you use it, and how often you use it. Because God does not punish. God is love. God does not punish. We punish all day long. We punish ourselves through our language, through our actions, and through our thoughts. Thoughts become things. When we do any action, any action, thought is an action. Okay? When we do any action, our subconscious remembers. The book of life is your subconscious. The book of life is in here. The book of life is not up there in heaven or in the heavens. Heaven is here. The book of life is in here. So it's important to guard your speech. Okay, so the power of words, let's talk about it. I made some notes over here. Okay. So words have frequency. Okay, now we're talking about emotional frequency. We're not talking about resonance. Okay, we're not speaking in the scientific. We're speaking in the spiritual. So what are the good frequencies? Well, there's love at the top. That's the highest. Okay, so there's love, there's peace, there's gratitude, joy, passion, excitement, enthusiasm, hope, and satisfaction. Satisfaction is the very minimal at the very bottom. Good morning, Costas. At the very bottom. Okay, at the very top of the positive frequencies is love. Okay, so what's the bottom part? What's the negative part? At the very bottom, there's fear. Right below satisfaction, which is the first positive emotion, okay, is worry. Worry is the first sign of negative emotions. So it goes worry, irritation, disappointment, criticism, anger, hate, boredom, envy, despair, grief, guilt, shame, and then fear at the very bottom. Fear is the opposite of love. I know most people think it's hate, right? It's not hate, it's fear. Because only doubt and fear can keep you from your manifestations. Only doubt and fear can keep you from your life path. Only doubt and fear can keep you from attaining your goals. Only doubt and fear. If you doubt yourself, or if you doubt the process, or if you don't see yourself worthy, all of those things, that's all doubt. Okay, so doubt is very bad. Because if you're doubting, right, then you're never going to get wherever you want to go, like whatever your goal is. So it's doubt and fear. What about fear? Well, yeah, fear will paralyze you. Fear slows you down. Your life path is like this from within. Okay? It's unfolding from within. All your desires, okay? All the things that you desire are unfolding from within. All your subconscious beliefs, things that you believe are true, are unfolding from inside. When you get afraid, when something makes you fearful, when something makes you scared, that process slows down. It slows down. Why? Because you start hesitating. Why? Because you're fearful. People hesitate when they're fearful because they're not sure how to move forward. They're not sure how to get out of whatever they're into. If they're in a negative situation, fear can prevent them from leaving a negative situation just because they don't know what to do. So if you're in a negative situation and you don't know what to do, pray. If you're in a negative situation and you don't know what to do, meditate. Go within in the kingdom. Jesus Christ said the kingdom is within. Go within. Close your distractors, okay, like this. And go within and ask, believe in your asking, and receive the answer. Ask, believe, receive. So the power of words comes in everyday language, everyday speech. When you start to change your language, you'll see that you start to change your mood. Your mood changes. And when your mood begins to change, things begin to get better. Why? Because everything out here reacts to everything in here. So things get better when you're in a good mood. Okay, when money comes, when you have money, when you get paid, payday. Payday is usually a happy day, right? Okay, usually. And you get paid, and now you have money, and now you're happy. A couple weeks later, money's going out slowly, right? Money's going out slowly. Then money gets scarce, and what happens? You start fearing. Okay, when money starts going out, that's when people get alarmed. That's when people get fearful. Okay, because like, oh no, my money's running out. What's going on? You see? So I'm here to tell you that the way to fix that is to be happy and to be joyful when money is going out, because that will bring the money back in. If you begin to worry when money goes out, if you begin to, then money will go faster. But if you change your mood, and you might have to fake it for a little while, you know, for a few hours, maybe a day or two or whatever it takes. But when you start doing that, money turns around, it starts coming back. You can call money. Money is an energy. You can call money into your life. You have to speak it. Speak it in the form of prayer and affirmation. Okay, write it down. So use your pen. I am so happy and grateful now that I have, and be specific. How much money? $50. Thank you. There you go. Start small. Okay, I started with $20, then I went to $50. This was back in 2007. And I over time, I worked my way up to $5,000, and I wrote a $5,000 affirmation, and it happened. Another $5,000 affirmation, it happened. Now sometimes it hit 6,000 or 7,000. Sometimes it only hit 2,000 or 2,500. You think I was complaining? No, because I didn't have anything when I started the affirmation, right? There was nothing to complain about. You write an affirmation for $5,000, you make $2,500. It's celebration time, okay? But you have to write it. And then you speak it in the evening before you go to bed. This is not a magic spell. This is not witchcraft. This is your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind will take care of a lot of stuff for you. A lot. Because you give it to your subconscious mind to take care of. Your subconscious mind, once it believes something, okay, and a belief is a thought you keep thinking, start giving you evidence of it. It will start creating circumstances relevant to it. And that's when the magic happens. It seems like magic, but it's not magic. It's you, the human being. Human beings are the highest life form on the planet. You know, and it's really sad when I see homeless human beings, when I see poor human beings. I'm like, okay, they don't know about this stuff, right? Usually at the homeless stage, it's too late already. it's very difficult to turn somebody around from that. Not because they're homeless, but because they won't take time to write an affirmation. Because they may not have the focus for an affirmation. They may be on drugs. They may be in a different mental space. That's why. Okay, it's not because they don't have time. They have all the time in the world, but they don't have the faculty. So how do you get to the point where you optimize your conscious, subconscious, and superconscious? Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Now, the two strongest, okay, is imagery, pictures, okay, or your image in the mirror. Okay, that's number one. Number two, your voice or audio. Those are the two things that affect the subconscious the most. So if you stand in front of a mirror in your bathroom and you tell yourself what a good person you are, you tell yourself good things in the mirror. Sincere, I mean, coming from your heart, with sincerity, because your subconscious can tell. Okay, but when you can do that, what happens? When you can do that, you affect your subconscious directly. You start telling your subconscious you're a good person. The theme is good person. Your subconscious goes, oh, we're being a good person? Okay. And it will start to show you evidence of what a good person is, what a good person does. And you will be prompted into those actions. The same happens in the negative, which is why we guard our speech. Thank you, lady. That's why we guard our speech. Because once you speak enough negativity, once you speak enough negativity, you create a toxic environment for yourself. Because you live in here, you live in the kingdom. Okay, the temple is here. Okay, the prison is also here. Okay, so you can live in heaven or you can live in hell. And hell is all about torment. And that's when your thoughts are repetitiously negative. Okay, when your thoughts are automatically against things, against people. Somebody says something and you objectively in your head go against them. It's like a reflex, but that's your subconscious. Okay, and that happens. Your subconscious learns in repetition and it repeats in repetition. So it keeps feeding you the same thing over and over and over. Your subconscious contains the beliefs. Okay, that's the roots of the tree. The trunk of the tree is your paradigm, how you see the world based upon what you believe. The fruits of the tree up here are your actions, the way you act based upon what you believe and how you see the world. And what happens to actions? They become results. Okay. So can you just change the actions? Yeah, can. Will you get a different result? Yeah. But it won't last. Okay, it won't become a lifestyle change. Okay, a change in your lifestyle or a change in your life unless you change the roots down here, the subconscious beliefs. And words are a very important part of this. Because if you don't change your language, you will speak all kinds of rubbish into your subconscious. What kind of rubbish am I talking about? Oh, stuff like this. I hope this is going to turn out right. Hope. No, you have to say, I believe this will turn out right. Okay, because listen to it. Hope. Believe. There's a different vibration. There's a different feeling. When you speak the word hope and you speak the word believe, you feel a different vibration. You can hope for something all day long. Hope is like the word try. Okay, here. if I put my pen in my hand, okay, and I do this all the time with my clients, I say, here, try to take the pen from my hand. And they go like that. And I go, no, put it back. You took the pen out of my hand. They put the pen back. Okay, now try. And they look at me and they, what? Try? I'm like, exactly. This is try. This is try. Try looks like this. Okay. You don't try to take a pen out of somebody's hands. But if you do, it looks like this. So are you taking it out of the hand? No. Nothing's happening. Why? Because try is one of those kinds of words. It's like hope. I hope this gets better. All we need is hope. Nonsense. Nonsense. So if I say, take the pen out of my hand, there, you took it. If I say, try to take the pen out of my hand, it looks like this. No action. So words like hope, words like maybe, okay, words like someday. You need to change your vocabulary. Words like someday. If you say someday, someday never happens. One day happens. One day. Someday never happens. Someday keeps pushing days out into the future. In other words, it keeps pushing things away from you. Because you live in now. You're living one long now. This is the present now. Someday is an illusion. There is no someday. Someday pushes off the day out in an infinite spot. So work on your language. You know, I hope I get paid next week. I hope I have enough money to pay my phone bill. I hope, right? Hope. No, don't hope, believe. I believe I'll have enough money to pay my phone bill when I get paid. There you go. Easy. Change your language. Because the vibration, you're dealing with vibration. You're dealing with frequency, the mood, okay? We're not talking about resonance. We're talking about the mood type of frequency. And like intention that you marry with emotion to get manifestation, the same thing happens with your speech. The same thing. Hi, Patricia. Good morning. Good morning, Kayleen. The same thing. Okay, now you can heal with words as well. Okay? I am whole. I am love. I am loved. I am healthy. All the positive I ams are healing. Okay, all the I am happy. I am generous. I am kind. I am loyal. All the positive I ams. Those are all healing words. As long as it's said in positivity, right? Okay. Prayers and blessings. Okay, now keep all negative words out of your blessings and prayers. That's important. Okay. Don't include any negatives in your prayers because they won't make sense. Now, who is the recipient of the words that you speak? Who's the number one recipient? Your subconscious. Not the person you're speaking to. Because it affects you the most. Because you live with you. Right now, my subconscious doesn't know if I'm speaking to you or if I'm speaking to myself. For all my subconscious knows, I'm just sitting here speaking to myself. But all of this information is going back into my subconscious. Okay, spoken blessings carry divine energy, divine frequency. How is that? Through intention. Okay, something that's meant with love. Okay, when you're saying a blessing for somebody, or you're saying a prayer for somebody, it's going to make a difference, even if it doesn't seem so. But it's going to make a difference because it's said with love. So this is that energetic thing again, energy. If you say something with energy that's negative, it'll affect your subconscious. If you say something with energy that's positive, it'll affect your subconscious. But the results will be whatever the intention was, positive or negative. So your life will get better if you stand in the mirror and you make a list. Okay, so I have my clients do this on their intake. I have them write 100 positive I ams before they even work with me. And the reason why I do that is because the subconscious learns in repetition. Okay, but the subconscious is also like a muscle. You have to exercise it. Just like anything else in life, you have to start small and you have to grow it. So when you're exercising the subconscious, you're growing it. You're growing the capacity. You're energizing it. You're getting it going. You're getting it started. And when it starts to work really good, you'll be amazed. I just think of a parking space at the shopping center and I get it. There's this one parking space that I always, think about on my way there. Sometimes I don't think about it on my way there, but most of the time when I do think about it, I get it. 8 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10, sometimes 7 out of 10 times, but more often than not. God is real. God is very real, but God is an energy. God is not a white man with a beard in the sky like Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel painting. That's not God. That's not God at all. That's religion. That's the pictures that they put in your mind. The only thing that's watching you 24/7 is your subconscious. God is not watching you. God is feeling you. God doesn't even hear your words. God hears your feelings. The Indian philosopher Shanako said, your feelings are your God. And what he meant was the way you feel dictates the way your life becomes. You feel good, life gets better. You feel bad, life gets worse. Okay, if you're having a problem turning that around, if you're feeling bad all the time and you need to turn that around, it's very easy to do. Just email me and I'll give you a solution. Okay, I'm not even going to charge you. junior@hereforyoulifecoaching.com. That's my email. Just write to me. Tell me what the problem is. I'll tell you how to fix it. See, many times when things are stressful, when things are not going good, okay, we overcomplicate things just out of habit. We make things bigger than they are because we have an imagination. And our imagination starts making things bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. More complicated, more complicated, more complicated. And sometimes what starts out as a small little issue grows, right? Pretty soon it's that big. Pretty soon it's like out here. Okay, you can only see my hands so much on the screens. But yeah. You ever get in trouble when you were a kid and your mom says, wait till you get home? That used to happen to me. And my mom used to pick me up from school. And she used to say, you wait till you get home. And I'm in the back seat, right? And I was scared the whole way home. Because I was imagining what would happen when I got home. And all of these things would just, right? It would fill my head with fear. And I was fearing throughout the 20-minute drive home. I was fearing. What happened when I got home? Well, I never got in trouble because my mom cooled down by the time she got home. By the time she got home, she was cool. She was good. Okay. And what did I learn? I learned I spent those 20 minutes in here afraid for nothing. I was worrying for nothing. I spent all that energy, and it is energy. It's a lot of energy. When you're worried, that's a lot of energy. You're worried about the what ifs, the negative what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if that? Okay, so my what ifs were like, what if I get the belt? What if I get the stick? What if I get, whatever, right? Like, what's going to happen? All of those things. Those are legitimate thoughts. Now, if you're going through worry, just know like it's praying for something bad to happen. If you're worried, it's like you're praying that something bad happens. You're like, please, God, give me something bad. Give me something. That's what worry is doing. It's pulling it into your world. Why? Because you're focusing on it. Remember yesterday, right? We talked about energy. Energy flows where attention goes. You're giving it attention. You're making it bigger. That's how you're praying for something bad to happen. When you worry about not having money, guess what happens? You attract more of that circumstance. Because your subconscious wants to make it part of your reality at that point, when you believe it. When you believe it, your subconscious is like, okay, I'm going to give you evidence of it. I'm going to look for more things that will show you the stuff you're worried about. And you'll get more ideas, okay? And then also you have an imagination. That makes it worse. Now you can also use the same process for something good. Okay, when you just start thinking like something good is just about to happen, I can feel it, like something good is just about to happen. Anticipation. When you anticipate something good, when you expect something good, you increase the chance of something good happening. You increase those chances. So it works both ways. So if you're stuck in the negative way, just do what I always say, okay? Reframe, refocus. Reframe. That's when you have the glass half empty, okay? Now you have to flip it, you have to concentrate, you have to focus and flip it to the glass half full. Now the glass is half full instead of half empty. Reframe, refocus. It makes no sense to brood over something negative. Because the only thing that you're doing is you're holding your mind hostage. You're forcing it to think and to become negative. That's all. And if you're doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice. Why? Because more bad things will come. Now, if you refocus, reframe first, reframe it into something good, and then refocus, apply your focus, okay? Because your focus was on the negative stuff, right? And then that started happening. Okay, now you're going to shift. You're going to reframe, and you're going to refocus. Now you're going to focus on the positive stuff. Now you're going to focus on something good is just about to happen. I can feel it. Okay? And get excited about it. Because that's the emotion that's attached to the intention. Okay? When you're excited about it. Yeah, I know it. I know something good is just about to happen. And then what? You're anticipating. You're waiting for it. Wait for it. Okay? Now you're waiting for it. And guess what? You're gonna see something good. It may not be spectacular. It may not be over the top. It may not be everything that you want, but it'll be something good. And you know what the good part is? The good part is that this becomes consistent over time. Small incremental changes over time amount to huge change. There's a book by James Clear called Atomic Habits, just in case you want to look it up, okay? Atomic Habits by James Clear. I don't get anything for, mentioning the book or anything like that. If you want another book that's really, really good, okay, this is a book that's really, really good. I don't get anything for mentioning this book either. Okay, there's no deal or anything like that with the publisher or anything like that, okay? I'm just saying that this is a good book for you. If you're a Christian, this is a really good book for you, because this author, who was one of the first two people to do subconscious studies, okay, he's like this guy's like the grandfather, Dr. Murphy's like the grandfather of subconscious studies. The original one like this is not the original cover, but the original one like this was a bestseller, like right away. And he has lots of biblical references in it. So he references the Bible a lot. Okay, if you're not a Christian, then it shouldn't matter, but it's still the best subconscious training you can get. You can fix anything through your subconscious. Your subconscious just has to be reprogrammed. I know that sounds like a big word, right? Big term. Reprogram. Like you program a computer? Yeah, kind of, sort of. It's all about data. It's all about data. It's about what you desire. It's about what you want. It's about how you want to live. It's about the things you want to receive. Like attracts like all day long. This is why they say, show me your 5 closest friends and I'll tell you who you are. Hi, Cooper. Good morning. So if you show me your closest friends, right, I'll know who you are. Your 5 closest friends. Because you guys will all have something in common. Because that's what human beings do. We are all subject to our environment, and we start to mirror our friends. Life is a mirror, okay? Life is a mirror. We start to mirror the people that we like. You start to hang out with new people, right? You start to pick up on their catchphrases, right? And then you use the catchphrase. One guy's going, all right. And pretty soon, before you know it, you're saying, all right. Yes, sir. Right? You're doing that. Okay. Why do you do it? Well, number 1, you think it's cool. Number 2, they're doing it, so you do it. And then you fit in. Now you're in with the other, right? The rest of the friend group. It always works like that. You're always subject to your environment. If you're in a place in your life where nothing's going right, chances are it's your environment. If the same stuff keeps happening to you over and over again and you can't get out of it, consider changing your environment, or at least take a hard look at it. Take a good look at it, because it's probably your environment. Okay, so today we're talking about the power of words. Okay, blessing with words, intentional speech, speaking life over death. Okay, all that means is speaking positivity over negativity. Okay, all of these things help. Even if you're just giving a compliment to someone, it's like a blessing. Why? Because it makes them feel good. It makes them smile. It makes them happy. When you put someone in a good mood like that, what do you think their reaction is going to be with the next person that they run into? It's probably going to be a good one. Thank you, lady. Thank you so much. It's probably going to be a good one. Because now you made them feel good. And now when they address the next person, they'll probably be friendly. They feel good, right? It'll be a good interaction. Okay, words and prosperity. Okay, so if you say stuff like, money comes to me easily, plentifully, and quickly, that will increase your money. You have to say it for a while. You have to believe it. Your subconscious has to believe it. So you have to do it in repetition. Another thing is, don't say spend money. When you say spend, spend means get rid of. Spend. Okay. You want to circulate money. If it's one thing my friends know about me, it's like I say circulate money a lot. Why? Because I circulate money. I get money in, right? I pay my bills. I circulate money. I don't look at it like spending. I don't say the word spend. I don't say spend money. I say circulate money. Circulate tells your subconscious it's going out over here and it's coming back over here. It's circulating. It's going out over here, back over here, out over here, back over here. Circulate money. See, people from the old school, and I'm from the old school. I was raised in the old school by a very old school mother who was raised in the war, okay? And my dad, both of them, they were raised in the war. And when you're raised in wartime, your mindset is set to scarcity because supplies are scarce, because money is scarce, because a lot of things are scarce. So you automatically think in scarcity or in scarcity terms. You know, so as a result, when we were growing up, they said things to us like, what, you think money grows on trees? Stuff like that, okay? Let me give you a secret. Let me give you a secret to wealth. Let me give you a secret to prosperity. You can get wealthy, you can get rich a couple of ways, okay? There's man's way and there's God's way. Okay, listen up, church people. Okay, I hope you guys are doing this. It's in your Bibles, okay? Man's way, save money. Save, put it all in the bank. Save money, hoard money, put it away. Just hoard everything you can. Get by on the bare minimum. You're wasting money. Don't waste money, right? You hear that? Okay, don't waste money. So there's that method, okay? And you store up all your money and you make sacrifices, okay? But sacrifice breeds resentment. Who are you going to be resentful against? If you're putting away money and if you're living small. When I say living small, I mean you're not enjoying all the things you really want to enjoy because you're making sacrifices. Who are you being resentful against? Yeah, you're being resentful against yourself. Pretty soon you start resenting it. You hold yourself responsible. Okay? So that's one way of getting rich. You can hoard the money, you can put it all in the bank, put it all in stocks, do all this investing, do all this stuff, live small, deny yourself, okay? That's one way. Now, here's God's way. Ask, believe, receive. Mark 11:24. The Gospel of Mark 11:24. Check it out. When you ask and you believe in your asking, you shall receive. So when you need something, when there's no rent money, when there's very little food money, when you need a bill to be taken care of, when there's an unexpected hospital bill, unexpected, whatever. Ask. Ask in here, in the kingdom. Okay? Because Jesus told us the kingdom is in here. Jesus told us you go in your closet to pray. Where's your closet? He was talking about the temple. Okay? It's in here. It's in the kingdom. There's no out there. The only thing out there is nature and things from someone else's in here. That's all that's out there. Everything is inside. You came to the planet complete. Okay, so ladies, no man completes you, okay? You're complete already. So get that out of your head, okay? Stop watching the Hallmark Channel, or you could watch it, but don't believe that stuff, okay? That's, when you're watching the movie and she goes, he completes me, that kind of stuff. Okay, you're complete already. That's the good news. But God lives in here. You're not your body. You're not your name. You're the energy that lives in here, the spirit that lives in here. Okay, the soul that lives in here. Some writers refer to the subconscious as your soul. You could say that. You are a spiritual being having a physical experience. There's a separation between the body and the spirit. And the spirit has control over the body all day long. It outranks the body. The spirit tells the body what to do. Okay, when I want to move my fingers like this, that's me. That's me in here telling my hand to do that. Okay, and I can make it stop. The spirit has control over the body all day long. Now, it's up to you whether it's the Holy Spirit or another kind of spirit. Because you can go the other way if you want to. You can go the negative way. You can go that way. But there's a limit. There's no limit on the positive side. There's no limit to the amount of money you can make. There's no limit to the amount of houses you can buy. There's no limit to the amount of cars you can own. No limit. No limit at all. It's infinite. But on the negative side, now if you choose to go down that road, okay, it's limited. Okay, first you could be homeless. Okay, and then one step down from homeless is prison, and one step down from prison is graveyard. That's it. That's as far as you go. You cannot survive the graveyard. That's final. Everything's final at the graveyard. It's done. You're done. You only live this way one time. That's it. This is your shot. This is your big break. This is your chance. This is your chance to understand that the kingdom is within, that all your answers are within, that all the labels that you see out here without, okay, because there's as within, so without. Out here, on the outside, all the labels that you see are just labels. Look at how many Christian churches there are. Okay, how many churches believe in Jesus? Tons. Tons and tons and tons. And they all have their own ways of worship. They all have their own ways of doing things. They all have their own ways of explaining everything. They all have a different way to assign this, that, and the other thing, right? Their beliefs. And you decide which one you want to go to. Because you will find which one is right for you. Which one you can, accept or go with, right? That kind of thing. So there's all kinds of choices. If you don't want to be a Christian, you could be a Muslim. If you don't want to be a Muslim, you could be a Buddhist. You could be a Taoist, right? It doesn't matter what you want to be. You can choose any label. You can identify with it. You could say, okay, I'm one of those. I'm going to be one of those. I identify with those guys. I like that. I'm going to be one of those. And then you can choose that. But I'm here to tell you that God is bigger than that. God is bigger than labels. God doesn't wear a label. God is infinite. God is energy. God is not the white man with the beard in the Sistine Chapel. That's not God. And what really amazes me, though, what really amuses me too, it amazes me, it amuses me, it makes me laugh, is when a human being, okay, one of 8 billion souls on the planet, will stand up at a podium and profess to know the will of all creation. Think about that one. As a human being amongst 8 billion, it's like being a grain of sand on the beach. That's how important we are as individuals. Not very. But as a collective, we're strong. As consciousness, we're strong. As a member of consciousness, we're strong. How many people do you know that are under the age of 7? They're not even a part of consciousness yet. They're still downloading data. They're still downloading information. They're still learning the data. They're still using all of their senses to download all this data from the environment. So if you have children in that age category, that age group, treat them with care, treat them with kindness, treat them with love, treat them with understanding. Have patience. And your kids will turn out better, much better. So is it, with words, right? We're talking about words today. So is it like for a wealth consciousness, like money flows easily, plentifully, and quickly? Okay, that's one. Money circulates. I circulate money. Money comes easily, that kind of thing. Those things promote abundance. That kind of speech promotes abundance. Gratitude declarations, okay? I'm grateful for all I have, or I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, I'm grateful, like that. That promotes abundance. When you're grateful for something, right, it puts a positive vibration to it. It applies a positive vibration. And when that happens, guess what happens? You get more positive. There's also the vibration of expectation. Like I was saying earlier, expect something good, right? But it's a vibration. It's an emotional vibration. It's a positive one. Expectation. You're waiting for it. So when you use words that have a negative vibration, you're pushing things away. When you're using words that are positive, you're pulling things towards you. Your blessings. Doubt and fear push everything like this. And your blessings try to come to you, but they're out here, they're stuck. They're stuck out here. Why? Because there's an invisible barrier here, an energetic barrier, a vibrational barrier that does not allow you to receive your blessings until you relax this barrier, which means get out of doubt, get out of fear. Stop doubting, okay, going down. Stop fearing, okay, going down. Okay, stop, right? Confidence. Confidence is the absence of this. So now it's going down like this. Now when it goes down, your blessings come automatic. There you go. Is it vibrational or subconscious? It's both. Okay, every word has a frequency, an emotional frequency attached to it. kind, uplifting words project high frequency. Swear words, bad words, okay, vulgar words, dirty words, the opposite. Okay, so it's important to watch your speech, to guard your speech. And the only reason why, or the bigger reason why, is because when you're spewing out all this negative stuff in, like, even if you're just joking or being sarcastic, okay, I know a lot of people that are sarcastic and they suffer for it. How does that happen? It happens through their subconscious. Pretty soon they have complexes. Pretty soon they don't feel good about themselves. Pretty soon they have anxiety. Pretty soon they're depressed. Pretty soon they're going to a therapist. And they're going through all of this stuff that wasn't necessary in the first place. But they didn't know. It's not something they teach us in elementary school. It's not something they teach us in high school. But this is my community service, so I tell you. So check it out, subconscious training. I'll show you the book one more time. Okay, Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy. I don't get anything from, I'm not really even promoting this. I'm just showing it to you so you can use it as a resource. It's a good resource. Okay, the power of your subconscious mind. It will fix all of your problems. All of your problems. There's only the conscious, subconscious, superconscious. Okay, so your conscious mind is for making decisions. Your conscious mind says, okay, we're going to do that. And then it commits it to the subconscious through repetition. Subconscious learns in repetition. Okay, now your subconscious, once it believes it, it will store it like a program. And that program will operate underneath the surface. Now, do you need to keep giving it orders? Yeah. You need to be consistent. It looks like this. So I have my, got a bunch of junk down here, but yeah. So this is the last one that I used up. Okay, these are affirmations. Okay. These are orders to my subconscious. I'm telling my subconscious what I expect it to do. Okay, remember the other day, like 2 days ago, we were talking about money? You have to tell money what to do. Don't let money tell you what to do. Don't be a slave to money. You are money's master. Remember that? Okay, same thing. You are the master over your subconscious. You are consciously aware. You are the boss. Your subconscious takes orders. So it's up to you to provide the discipline to your subconscious. What is discipline? It's just repetition. Everybody thinks discipline's a dirty word. It's not. It's being consistent with something. That's all. Doing something over and over and over and over and over. Okay? Feeding your subconscious good information, good thoughts, good things, good goals. You got to have a goal. You always have to have a target. Keep feeding your subconscious targets. Okay, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. I am so happy and grateful now that you're like this. Okay? Give it orders. So try that. I am so happy and grateful now that, and then fill in the blank. Now that I have more money, or be specific, $100. Okay? I am so happy and grateful now that I have a new love, if that's what you're looking for. I am so happy and grateful now that I work at XYZ company, if you want a job. So you write it once every morning. Keep the tablet by your bedside. Write it once every morning and speak it out loud every night. It will change your life. Okay? That's just one thing. Okay, that's the affirmations. So there's affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. Okay? I'm out of time, and Jay is saying see you next week. So it's 8 o'clock in Hawaii right now. We're on every morning at 7 o'clock. Okay, 7 days a week, 7 days a week at 7 a.m. So thank you, TikTok. Thank you guys for being here. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And we're going to say goodbye to our national feed